Don't get married. Don't have kids. The government is offering massive financial incentives for every newborn, but an entire generation remains unmoved. To understand the phenomenon, we must first understand the person. This is the story of Kim Ji-young. Before marriage, Kim Ji-young had a name and a career. After having a child, she had a routine. Her life became a repeating loop of mechanical tasks: ironing towels, tidying the constant clutter, cleaning the house, gathering her child's scattered toys. Her only moment of stillness came in the afternoon, standing on the balcony with a hollow look in her eyes, feeling the sun's warmth on her skin. When she took her child out for a walk, she'd overhear the casual, cutting remarks from people passing by, whispers calling her a mom roach, a parasite living an easy life on her husband's dime. At home, the constant, invisible labor took a physical toll. Her wrist began to ache, a sharp, persistent pain. Her husband, Dae-hyun, noticed and was concerned, but Ji-young just shook her head. "The wrist is nothing," she tried to explain. "What really hurts is what the doctor told me. With all the washing machines and dishwashers we have now, how could your hand possibly get injured?" Dae-hyun, trying his best to comfort her, suggests a solution for her workload: skipping the exhausting New Year's trip to his family's home, where endless kitchen duty always awaited her. But Ji-young, trapped by tradition and a sense of duty, immediately refuses.
그리고 안 가면 말은 누가 들어? 아들 뭐라 하시겠어? 다 내 탓하시지.
In the end, they still made the trip to Dae-hyun's family home in Busan. Just like every year, a mountain of food preparation awaited them. Bound by an unspoken duty, Ji-young never dared to sleep in, waking up before dawn to help her mother-in-law in the kitchen. This year, however, her mother-in-law had a special gift for her. Ji-young's face lit up with genuine happiness, but as she unwrapped it, she found a new apron inside. Her smile froze, replaced by one she had to force as she accepted the gift, a not-so-subtle reminder of her expected role. Seeing the chaos in the kitchen, Dae-hyun walked in, wanting to help. But Ji-young, terrified of breaking tradition, quickly pulled him away.
우리 대현이는 신신 남편이 있네.
집에선 제가 다 해요, 어머니.
이거 뭐라 하나. 우리 아들 못지도 않는데 토를 다 넣어.
Her mother-in-law's passive-aggressive comments left Ji-young feeling small and unsure how to respond. After a long, exhausting day in the kitchen, Dae-hyun whispered to her that they could finally go home soon. But just as a wave of relief washed over her, the front door opened, and his sister's family arrived. The mother-in-law instantly doted on her own daughter, telling her to sit down and relax, while the whole family chatted and laughed. And then, without missing a beat, she turned to Ji-young and instructed her to start preparing more food. Dae-hyun's sister offered to just eat at her own home, but her mother dismissed it. Looking at this warm, happy family circle, Ji-young suddenly felt like an outsider, a hired hand. The sense of isolation was crushing. Something inside her snapped. She calmly took off her apron and looked at her mother-in-law. When she spoke, it wasn't her own voice. It was her mother's voice. It was as if her mother had possessed her.
사부인, 쉬게 해주고 싶으면 집에 좀 보내주세요.
In the stunned silence, Dae-hyun acted fast. He scooped up their daughter, and without a single word of explanation to his bewildered family, he gently guided Ji-young out the door and into the car. Ji-young was fast asleep in the passenger seat. Looking at her calm face, it was hard to believe she was the same woman who had spoken with such chilling authority just an hour before. Dae-hyun's heart ached with worry. These strange episodes were becoming more frequent. His secret trips to a psychiatrist had only confirmed his fear. He was powerless to help her unless she admitted she had a problem first. They drove straight to her own mother's house, and for the first time in days, Ji-young slept soundly. When she woke up, the memory of the incident was gone, replaced by a vague, frustrating fog. "Why have I been so forgetful lately?" she asked him, and Dae-hyun saw his chance. Carefully, he suggested she see a doctor, inventing a story about a colleague from work with the same problem who was now doing much better. He handed her a business card, but at the clinic, the high cost of a consultation made her hesitate, worried about the expense. Dae-hyun felt a wave of helplessness. He couldn't just tell her, because he knew her wounds were older and deeper than he could possibly heal alone. Her pain was rooted in a lifetime of small cuts to the soul. Growing up, she'd watched her father return from trips with expensive fountain pens for her younger brother, while she and her sister were given cheap notebooks. A quiet, constant reminder of their place. It became more dangerous in high school. One evening, a boy followed her home from school with clear, terrifying intentions. She managed to escape only with the help of a kind woman who intervened on the street. But when her father finally arrived, his relief was buried under a wave of blame. He didn't ask if she was okay. He scolded her. For her skirt being too short, for being out too late, for being the one who had invited the darkness. It was in that moment she learned the loneliest lesson of all. Sometimes, even your own family won't believe you.
왜 그렇게 학원을 멀리 다녀? 어? 당장 옮겨. 단정히 입고 다녀. 알아, 치마가 짧잖아. 그리고 절대 아무나 보고 웃으면 안 돼.
After graduation, Ji-young finally entered the workforce, full of ambition. Her writing skills were exceptional, and she quickly earned the praise of her superiors. Yet, a promotion to a core department always remained just out of reach. Confused, she asked her female supervisor why. The answer she received was a disheartening piece of company logic. Her supervisor explained that it had nothing to do with her ability. The company simply preferred to promote men, assuming that young women would eventually get married, have children, and leave. It was an unwritten rule, a ceiling she couldn't see but was always there. This casual dismissal of her professional value, tying it directly to her potential role as a mother, was a bitter pill to swallow. Looking at her supervisor, a woman who had sacrificed her own family life to climb the corporate ladder, Ji-young saw a glimpse of a future she didn't want. So, after getting married, she eventually made the choice to leave her job and become a full-time mom. She tried to embrace her new life, even joining a group of other local mothers for coffee. She thought she would finally find a community she could relate to. But as the women went around the table, casually mentioning their past careers, a doctor, a marketing director, a researcher, a wave of insecurity washed over Ji-young. She was surrounded by highly educated, accomplished women. She realized they all shared the same story. Motherhood had forced them to give up their careers, shelving dreams that had once defined them. Feeling a renewed desire to reclaim a small piece of herself, Ji-young started looking for a part-time job. But the search online was discouraging, with nothing suitable for a mother with limited hours. Then, on her way home one day, she saw a sign. A local bakery was hiring, and the hours were a perfect fit for after she dropped off her child at daycare. A spark of hope ignited. She went home and excitedly told Dae-hyun about the opportunity. She expected him to be supportive. Instead, he immediately shut the idea down.
하고 싶은 일이야?
어?
지영아, 네가 지금 어떤 아니, 형이 보는 것도 힘들고.
오전에만 하면 된대.
아니야, 하지 마.
별로 안 힘들 것 같은데?
누가 너보고 그런 알바하래?
나 너 하고 싶은 거 못하게 한 것도 괴로운데 네가 하고 싶지도 않은 일 하는 거 나 못 봐. 너 지금 몸도 힘들고. 나 그냥.
오빠, 고마워. 나 힘든 거 신경 써줘서.
That night, Dae-hyun found her again, standing on the balcony with that same vacant stare. He wrapped his arms around her, the weight of her unspoken sadness pressing down on him. The pressure intensified when his mother called, still angry about their abrupt departure during the holiday. Dae-hyun finally told her the truth about Ji-young's condition, asking her to please give them some space. His mother's next call was not to him, but to Ji-young. Her tone was completely different, There was no anger, just a simple, motherly concern. She told Ji-young she would send her some healthy tonic and urged her to take care of herself. For the first time, Ji-young felt a glimmer of understanding from the last place she expected. That flicker of strength came just in time because she was about to be reminded of the world she had escaped. A former colleague called with 2 pieces of shocking news. First, the ugly truth. A pinhole camera had been discovered in their old office's women's restroom. And worse, their male colleagues had been sharing the footage. It was a sickening confirmation of the deep-seated disrespect that had always simmered beneath the surface. But then came the second piece of news, a ray of hope. Her former supervisor, fed up with that same broken system, had quit and started her own agency, and she wanted to know if Ji-young would be her first hire. Something shifted inside Ji-young. That evening, she took out her makeup for the first time in ages. She carefully put on a sky blue coat, not as a wife or a mother, but as herself. She was ready to reclaim the work and the life that she wanted. She met with her former supervisor, her eyes full of a resolve that had been missing for years, and told her she was ready to come back. In the evening, she decorated the house beautifully. When Dae-hyun came home, he thought it was his birthday.
나 취직했어.
그럼 아영이는 종일반에 보내야 하나?
가정 어린이집에 하루 종일 있기에는 아영이가 너무 힘들 것 같고 내가 맘카페 알아봤는데 5시부터 7시 정도까지 잠깐 봐준 사람을 구하는 게 좋대. 아이돌봄 서비스도 있는데 그건 대기가 너무 길어. 일단 걸어놨어. 오빠, 나 다시 일하는 거 싫어?
아니, 그냥 너랑 아영이 고생할까봐.
그럼 하지 말까?
아니, 네가 좋으니까 나도 좋아.
Full of new hope, Ji-young immediately began looking for a nanny. But her efforts were met with a frustrating silence. She put up posters, searched online, and got not a single call in return. A familiar sense of being trapped started to creep back in. At home, she found herself teaching her young daughter simple tasks, almost preparing her for a life where mom might not always be around. That's when Dae-hyun stepped in. He had been watching her struggle, seeing the spark of life return to her eyes, and he made a decision, a sacrifice that was almost unheard of for a man in his position. He told Ji-young that he would be the one to stay home. He would take a year of parental leave from his job to raise their daughter, so that she, for the first time in their marriage, could be free to chase her own dream.
제도가 있는데 써먹어야지. 걱정 말고 너도 하고 싶은 거 해.
Ji-young was overjoyed. For the first time in years, she felt a surge of genuine, uncomplicated happiness. She could finally have a piece of her old life back. At that exact moment, the healthy tonic from her mother-in-law arrived. Touched by the gesture, Ji-young called her to share the good news, expecting her to be happy for them. But when she explained that she was going back to work, and that Dae-hyun was the one taking parental leave, the warmth on the other end of the line vanished.
야, 니 정말 해제도 너무 하는 거 아이가?
어머니 그게 아니라요. 저기
아니, 앞길을 꼬말리 같은 아들이 어찌 그리 생각이 짧어?
The mother-in-law, outraged that her son would make such a sacrifice, hung up the phone. The sudden rejection left Ji-young stunned and hurt, the joy from moments before instantly evaporating. Adding to the chaos, the mother-in-law immediately called Ji-young's own mother, bluntly revealing everything about Ji-young's mental health struggles.
남편을 육아휴직을 내고 그 집에서 놀아라는 게 그게 말이 되나 말이지요. 사부인 딸 지금 정상 아니에요.
Panicked, her mother rushed over, only to find Ji-young looking perfectly fine. Thinking Dae-hyun's mother had made it all up, she soothed Ji-young, offering to help take care of her granddaughter so she could pursue her dream without worry. But just as her mother was about to leave, it happened again. Ji-young's posture changed, her voice deepened, and she began to speak, not as herself, but as her own deceased grandmother. The illness was still there, lurking just beneath the surface.
미숙아, 네가 그 꽃다운 나이에 엄마 가슴이 찢어졌었어. 너무 착한 듯해.
지영아, 아이고 지영아.
At that moment, her mother finally understood. This strange behavior wasn't madness. It was a lifetime of suppressed pain, a cry for help so desperate it had to borrow the voices of other women just to be heard. Overwhelmed with guilt and sorrow, she pulled her daughter into a tight embrace, realizing how little she had truly seen her, how little she had protected her from the world's casual cruelties. Back at her own home, a heavy stillness fell over her. She watched as her husband, Ji-young's father, returned laden with expensive health tonics, not for their suffering daughter, but for their precious son. It was the final straw. A lifetime of swallowing her own frustrations, of quietly accepting the unfair hierarchy of her family, finally came boiling to the surface. After decades of holding her tongue, Ji-young's mother erupted.
당신 눈에는 아들밖에 안 보여? 하고 싶은 것도 못하고 우리 지영이는 헛개비가 돼가는데 당신은 사지 멀쩡한 아들로 한약이나 지어오고 그러고도 당신이 아빠야? 하나 팔아줘야겠으면 왜 딸내미 거는 안 사오냔 말이야. 왜? 이러고 갔으니 애가 병이 안 나?
Her mother's outburst was a powerful moment, but it couldn't change a mindset built over decades. Ji-young's father remained a product of his time, just like so many others who unknowingly inflict wounds on their own families with outdated beliefs. The practical hurdles didn't disappear either. Ji-young had to call her former supervisor with the difficult news. She couldn't join the new company after all. She still hadn't found a nanny, and Dae-hyun's mother was vehemently against him taking parental leave. That evening, she came home with a familiar weight of resignation in her voice. She looked at Dae-hyun and told him she had made a decision. She wouldn't be going back to work, for now.
아영이도 크고 나면 나아질 거야.
애 보는 거 쉬는 거 맞아?
Their argument escalated. Dae-hyun tried to reason with her, but she refused to open up, shutting down every attempt he made to get through. Realizing his gentle approach wasn't working, he was forced to confront her with the direct, clinical truth. He told her plainly about the blackouts, the moments she couldn't remember. He described how she would sometimes speak with the voices of other women, a classic symptom of dissociative identity disorder. He explained that this wasn't just stress, it was a serious mental health condition. The words hung in the air, too harsh, too unbelievable for Ji-young to accept. Seeing the complete denial on her face, Dae-hyun knew words were not enough. He took out his phone and showed her the videos he had been secretly recording, not to trap her, but in a desperate attempt to understand what was happening to the woman he loved. Watching the footage was like being struck by lightning. She saw a stranger with her face, a woman speaking with the voice of her mother, of her grandmother. All this time, she had told herself she was fine, that she was just tired, that she was handling it. The video was the undeniable, heartbreaking proof that she wasn't handling it at all. She was breaking.
나 뭐부터 하면 돼? 치료 받으면 되지.
자주 그러지 않아. 아주 가끔.
고생했겠다, 오빠.
너가 나랑 결혼해서 나 때문에 아픈 것 같아서.
The harsh truth finally sank in, and Ji-young saw the situation through Dae-hyun's eyes. She understood the immense burden he had been carrying, living with the constant, unpredictable fear of who his wife might become from one moment to the next. But Dae-hyun was trapped in his own cycle of guilt. He blamed himself. He believed that Ji-young had been fine before she met him, that marriage and motherhood had been the things that broke her. The thought that he was the cause of her pain was a crushing weight. With all the secrets and burdens finally laid bare between them, the wall of resentment and misunderstanding began to crumble. For the first time, they finally seeing the full depth of each other's pain. The next day, her younger brother came to visit. Following their father's advice, he arrived with what he thought was a thoughtful gift, a bag full of red bean buns. But as Jung politely explained that she never liked them, her brother had a painful realization. All these years, his father only ever remembered his son's favorites. So he gave her a different gift. One not from his father, but from him. The exact fountain pen she had always wanted as a girl. That small act of finally being seen gave Jung the final push of courage she needed. She walked into the psychiatrist's office, no longer hiding, but ready to face her illness and begin the hard work of treatment. And with that very pen, she started to write again, rediscovering the dream she had left behind. She channeled her experiences onto the page, crafting her own story, which was eventually published, just as she'd always hoped. True to his word, Dae-hyun officially took a year of parental leave. He became a steady presence by her side through her treatment, and they began to share the simple, everyday task of picking up their daughter together, no longer as a caregiver and a patient, but as true partners. As the sun sets, Jung stands on the balcony one last time, but the vacant stare from the beginning of our story is gone. In its place, there is a glimmer of hope, a genuine smile. It's not a perfect ending, but it is the beginning of her recovery. Kim Ji-young, born 1982, is based on a novel of the same name, a story inspired by the author's own life, with an ending that is far less hopeful. That's because the character of Jung is a reflection of countless women today. The invisible ceiling at work, the assumption she would quit after pregnancy, the unbalanced weight of family duties. Her illness wasn't caused by a single person, not her mother-in-law, not her father, not even her well-meaning husband. It was the combined result of 1,000 tiny cuts inflicted by society over a lifetime. Each small injustice, from a gift given to her brother instead of her, to the quiet disrespect at the office, was like a fine needle, slowly piercing her sense of self until her mind finally fractured, borrowing the voices of other women just to be heard. And yet, the film also gives us Dae-hyun, a man who, while not perfect, represents hope. He learns to listen. He tries to understand a pain he will never experience, and he takes action, sacrificing his own career to support her healing. In this way, the film is a mirror, reflecting the hidden cracks that can exist within any family. But it's also a lesson. It teaches us that love can be a tool for enlightenment, helping us see the invisible injustices we often ignore. Because for one Kim Ji-young to heal, it takes more than just her own strength. It takes a partner willing to act. It takes a society willing to create a more equal environment. Just like raising a child, healing a wound this deep requires a joint effort. The story of Kim Ji-young is still playing out for millions around the world, but it leaves us with a simple, powerful message. Learn to listen, learn to empathize, and find the courage to confront prejudice, because while one person's voice may seem small, countless voices together can create a sound powerful enough to change the world. Tell the story with heart, tell the story with sincerity. I'm Pixielow, journeying with you so we both may grow. See you in the next video.